Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. This is Simba and this is Nala. In today's video, I want to share with you how I introduced those two cats together and eventually they can get along. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Miss May on my channel. I do a variety of lifestyle videos. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. As I shared in my videos before, I rescued a new cat whose name is Nala and she is a Siamese mix. And there is our other cat whose name is Simba. Both of them were stray cats. In today's video, I want to share with you how I introduced Nala cat to our Simba cat. It's basically introducing a new cat to an established cat. So it's definitely been a journey and I hope this video can help you as well. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe. Rescuing stray cats is the most rewarding experience for me. So Simba cat has been with us for 3 years now. And he is a male cat and he's a stray cat as well. He was a stray cat in the neighborhood. He lived on the street. He followed us home because, you know, he was hungry. He kind of sensed that I'm actually rescued. When I first rescued Simba, we would not be able to touch Simba at all. Took him to the hospital with a carrier was to lure him with the food inside of the carrier, which is a very difficult thing to do. And Simba is aggressive to the vet as well. He's actually flagged by the vet as being very aggressive behaviorally, and we even think about taking him to a behaviorist or something like that. So we've been having Simba for 3 years and we have so many scratches and bites from Simba, but it's been died down since like Simba is now familiar with us and stuff like that. But then the other day in our new neighborhood, we found this cat whose name is Nala cat. Nala is a girl and when we first found her, she was so skinny, so skinny. I think she was 2 years old when we first found her, but she was only 3.5 pounds. It's crazy how like an adult cat is less than 4 pounds. And I know like she's like kind of slimmer build, but still like that's way underweight. And her like coat, her fur were not good at all. So when I first saw this cat, when she was meow meowing and then like when she showed affections to us, I just knew that I had to save this cat because I feel like if I don't give her food, she's probably not gonna make it. But I already own a very aggressive cat, which makes a very difficult decision. Is like, are they gonna get along? Because if they're not gonna get along, my very aggressive cat is gonna get so aggressive. There's probably gonna be some bloodshed in the house. So I watch a bunch of cat videos. Basically, it's a slow process. Just because we did it in a week doesn't mean that it will happen every time in a week. It really depends on your cat as well. And I think if you Google how to introduce a new cat to the old cat, you're probably gonna see that please avoid eye contact between the cats when you first introduce the new cat. So how you do it is you put up your old cat and introduce the new cat. So the old cat doesn't really go eye to eye with the new cat, so you know you can avoid any hostile first impression and things like that, because you know first impression kind of matters. But I told my husband to put up Simba when I introduced Nala into the house, but my husband just didn't do so. Simba was going crazy, hissing and like trying to attack, growling and everything. So that has failed. But does it really matter that much? I mean, if you can't avoid eye contact, I think that's still okay. There is no need to stress about it if you didn't avoid eye contact when you first introduced a new cat to the old cat. If the old cat happened to see the new cat and got mad, too bad, but the most important thing is to separate them right away. So find a new room for your new cat. It could be your bathroom, it could be your it could be your bedroom, it could be like a closet, even a bigger closet, like a walk-in closet. Not like, you know, you gotta make sure that like there's air, there's like gap underneath the door and stuff like that. If you're in a very, very smaller apartment, but we live in Texas, so we have bigger space, so I separated cats immediately. So my old cat Simba has been very mad since we introduced Nala to the house. Even if you separate a new cat, your old cat is gonna smell something and your old cat is gonna know. So Simba has been growling, meowing and hissing by the door like he's just going bananas, like bananas. Is what I'm trying. Like he's like super aggressive, even like when with just the smell. When Simba is getting aggressive over the smell, if I just happen to walk by the door, Simba will actually hiss at me, scratch me. That's how aggressive Simba is. I got so many scratches. Simba will associate you with the new cat. If you smell like the new cat a little bit, he will be mad at you. So don't feel bad that like, oh, you betrayed the old cat and stuff. So of course, at that time, please do not introduce two cats together. Please do not do that because then you're just asking for trouble. Okay, my cat wants to stay on my lap, but she doesn't want to be touched. The second thing that I did was to swap the scent. So how I did it was that I put up Simba and let Nala go around the house. And then I put up Nala and I let Simba go around the house. And then I put up Simba again, let Nala go around the house. It's almost like every 2 to 4 hours type of thing. Like, it's not an easy job, but I just happened to quit my full-time job back then. So that's why it's a little bit easier. I have one cat right there, one cat right here. So the scent swapping is very, very essential for the cats to get familiar with the scent. Because at the beginning, when I first introduced Nala, Simba was very aggressive to anything that carries Nala's scent. But after I did the scent swapping, I realized that Simba was not as aggressive. Make sure that Nala's scent is everywhere. So that like Nala is familiar with Simba's scent in the house and Simba is familiar with Nala's scent in the house. So at the beginning, only the door carries Nala's scent, only Nala's room carries Nala's scent, and only my hand, because I interact with both cats, carries Nala's scent. Simba got really aggressive to the scent. But then, since her scent everywhere, that's when everything becomes like less aggressive, less crazy. Don't get me wrong, Simba still gets mad when he passed by Nala's door. He will hiss at the door and then move on, but he doesn't go like so obsessed with the door. The scent swapping was very successful. I kind of did that for 2 whole days for the scent swapping. Every 2 hours, I let one cat out. Every 2 hours, let the other cat out. So of course, if you don't work from home, you're not going to be able to do the every 2 hours thing. So what you could do is to like do that when you are home, or let the old cat out during the day and let the new cat out during the evening. The third thing that I did was to feed the cat at the same exact time behind the door on each side. So when I first starting to do it, it was very unsuccessful. And it kind of broke my heart a little bit because I saw this tip online and it seems that it would have worked, but then like it didn't work. So what happened was I put up Simba cat, go into Nala's cat and then feed Nala. And then I closed the door, put Simba's bowl next to Nala cat's door, and then give Simba's food next to the door. And at the beginning, Simba got so mad at me. Simba scratched the heck out of my leg. Like I had like a lot of bleeding and Simba was hissing at me and stuff like that because Simba just felt offended, I guess. And Simba wouldn't eat the food until I pushed the food bowl somewhere else. So that just like very, I don't know, like unsuccessful. The first time when I did it, it was unsuccessful. But then I tried it again the next meal by just slowly moving the bowl closer and closer and closer to the bowl. And that has been successful over time. I basically put the bowl like super far away from the door and then closer to the door and closer to the door to the point that they're basically one door against from each other. They're basically nose to nose. The only thing that separates them was the actual door. So that was actually very, very successful. But the next step was to actually swap Simba's scent into Nala's room. So here's the thing. When I did a scent swapping, Nala would go around the house and go to every place that Simba has been. But Simba would not go into Nala's room. The new cat, she's just exploring the new space in the house. She's trying to leave her scent everywhere. When I put up Nala, I try to introduce Simba to Nala's room. Simba will only hiss at the door and refuse to go in. Because to Simba, to the old cat, like the new cat scent is still like a very unknown territory. He felt threatened. He didn't feel safe to go in. And I even used the food, like I put the food inside of Nala's room, so maybe Simba will walk into the food. It did not happen. Even though Simba was secure to eat food by the door, by the room, he still like my old cat is still not comfortable with the new cat stand to really go in there to eat the food, even though the new cat isn't even there because I put Nala in the third room. So how I did it was that I basically used his food to leave a trail one at a time. So basically Simba is like eating one at a time, one and a one and one. It slowly, I used the food to leave a trail all the way to the litter box of Nala. And once Simba find himself in there, he started to explore Nala's territory. He started to get familiar with the scent. Slowly, like he will be comfortable with eating the food inside of Nala's room. Put Simba in Nala's room and Nala into Simba's room, or the entire house. So that was success. After that, on day 4, because Simba is actually very comfortable with Nala's room and Nala's scent now, I tried to open the door to feed them at the same time, side by side. So when I first did that, I put food bowls next to each other with a little bit space in between and put food in the bowl at the same time. And Nala, of course, being a homeless cat, just went in there like Nala doesn't care. The new cat usually doesn't. My old cat, Simba cat, refused to eat when the bowl is close to him. He's close enough to observe Nala, but he doesn't really like get too close. So like he still have room to hide. He still have like space to run. He also have time to run. So Simba didn't eat the food when I put the bowl together at the same time at first. Put the space a little bit farther and they were able to eat without the wall, but still being able to eat at the same time in the same space. It's just far, far, far away from each other. So slowly I'll decrease the space with every meal. That took me about 2 to 3 meals for them to eat side by side, and their bowls are right next to each other. And then Nala will eat Simba's food because Nala will eat her food very quickly. It is Simba's food. And Simba get a little bit scared and just like walk away and watch Nala eat his food. And then later I put up Nala and give Simba more food. And that's when Simba realized that, okay, it's safe for me to let Nala eat my food and take my space because I will get rewarded afterwards. Basically, it's to create association between the new cat and good stuff happening to the old cat. So how I did it was that if Nala eats Simba's food, if Simba backs away, I will give Simba extra food, extra treats. And Simba's like, wow, with this new cat being around, I'm getting fed more. And there are different variations of traits. So another thing is in the past, I used to not feed my Simba cat a lot of treats. But then with the Nala cat here, I tried to increase the snack by a little bit. So my old cat felt like, oh wow, there are good things happening with the new cat being around because I'm getting fed a little bit more with a little bit different variety of treats. That's the key, a little bit different variety of the treats. So there's actually an additional step a lot of YouTubers share was to put a baby door in between the cats and let the two cats stare at each other, make eye contact without physical contact. And we actually bought the baby door. We just didn't install it because it's too complicated, and also realized this one jumps really, really high. It's basically impossible, I would say, unless the door is like a human, like if it's like up to here, maybe the cat is not able to. Maybe like if the door is like 5 feet tall, maybe it's okay, but any baby door that blocks the baby is not gonna block the cat. And it was just very complicated to install. And my husband's like, I'm not able to do it. Let's just skip this step. And here's the thing, if you skip any steps, it's not gonna be at the end of the day. It's really depending on the cat. But the most important thing is to create positive association between the other cats and good food, good treats, good toys, playtime, a lot of love from you. And that's when the other cat feels secure enough, like, okay, the presence of this new cat or presence of the other cat is not gonna bring me any threat. There are unlimited resources and stuff, and it's not gonna be a problem. So eventually, I think around day 6, I opened the door and to see if they can actually hang out, to just be in the same space without being fed, without like anything. Usually your old cat has an established routine. Any cats have their routine of uptime and downtime. What I mean by it is there's usually a time that your cat will just take a nap or sleep and being very like passive, and that's usually their nap time. For my cat, it's usually in the afternoon between like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And usually there's the up time, which is in the morning when my cat is super upbeat, trying to hunt, trying to chase things, trying to eat more food. So how I did it was that I chose the downtime. The downtime being like around 2 p.m., I opened the door and let the cat to hang out. During that time, my very aggressive Simba cat, he just wasn't in the mood of chasing Nala cat. So Simba's like, okay, I'm just gonna walk around and still asleep. Even though Simba was less asleep this time because Simba still feel a little bit more alert and like insecure because this is another cat. He didn't know if he can trust her and stuff like that. But he wasn't in the like very like aggressive mood of like attacking her. And the new cat, of course, was too busy exploring the house, and she was just like also trying to avoid the old cat as well. So that worked really well, and slowly they will bring together and they started to have eye contact, and then they started to hiss. So what you need to do is to listen. When they started to hiss and growl, or when they started to like going eye to eye and not breaking the eye contact, that's when you put the new cat back to the door. And then session is over. So I did that on day 6, and on day 7, I wasn't even at home. My husband was like, let's just get the cat figured out. And it happened to be like around 1 p.m., I think on a Saturday, when Brandon just came back from the gym after workout class. So it's also happened to during the downtime after he fed the cat's blood sugar went up, started to feeling drowsy, and they were pretty content. That became successful. But eventually from time to time, they started to hiss at each other, chase each other. I have to put the Nala cat back to her room, especially at night. So starting on day 7 or day 8, I basically just opened the door since morning, fed everyone since morning, and they eat and then they just like do their own things. There was a little bit of growling and hissing from time to time, but it wasn't like consistent. And I was like, okay, that's probably okay. When they're too close to each other, I usually use treats or I use my voice to guide them out. Like they're trying to chase each other. If you throw a toy, like, you know, by them, not at them, but close to them, somebody is gonna get distracted. Once their attention get distracted, then that's okay. The most important thing is to distract the attention when there's any like hissing, growling, chasing going on. So that was successful, and when I realized that I can actually starting like introducing a new cat since morning when both cats are upbeat, having a lot of energy, I start to just leave them out and not do anything. And that usually worked really well. And I think on the night of 8th day or 9th day, I basically let both cats out at night instead of separating them when they sleep. And both of them actually came to bed and slept next to each other. Well, Simba slept next to my husband and Nala slept next to me because Nala's more attached to me. And if they can fall asleep next to each other on the same bed, they usually feel safe enough like for them to like actually be in together. So that was definitely a very good sign. So the next day I just started to like leave them out all the time. Do they still chase each other? Yes. Do they still hiss at each other? Yes. Do they still growl at each other? Yes. But the most important thing is to look at the body language. So what I realized is that Simba cat or old cat or boy cat loves to chase, loves to play, loves to hunt every day. He plays with his toys. He tried to chase me, hunt me, bring his toys from upstairs to downstairs, and like he loves to hunt and chase, and he's very playful boy cat, very mischievous. When he's chasing Nala, I noticed that he never really bite in there. He's really about like, I just want to hunt you. I just want to play with you. I just want to come back to my wild nature. You're finally something I can chase up. So my old cat is actually loving it that there is a new cat that he can chase. So not in once he hissed at Nala now. Like every time when there's a fight, when there is a chase going on, it's usually Nala hissing or growling. Simba is usually the one that started it. And I realized that Simba would like slowly, like very lightly nibble Nala's ear or like sniff Nala's nose, sniff Nala's butt. Like Simba is just curious and wanting to play. So that's why I felt safe when they were out together, even when they chase each other. Because Simba's intention is to play. Nala, on the other hand, is a girl cat. Usually girl cats, I feel like they're not as playful and mischievous as boy cats. So girl cats are more like lap cats. They jump into, so Nala jump into my lap and stuff like that. So Nala doesn't like to chase or play or stuff. That's when the hissing starts, is Nala to tell Simba, hey, I don't want to play with you. But Simba's like, no, I just want to play a little bit more. And Nala's saying, no, I don't want to. Even when I leave the house, I felt safe to leave both cats out and supervised, because I know that only one of them is like, I'm mad, because Simba just wants to play. Alrighty, that's it for today's video. I hope this video is helpful to you. And I just want to say, if you see a stray cat, try to help. It's literally the best thing that happened to me. Like, I just see a huge difference in both of the cats. I'm loving it. So thank you so much for watching. And if you already have a cat and try to adopt another stray cat or rescue another cat, don't hesitate. There's so many resources for you, and there's always a solution to help your cats. Alrighty, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and check out my other videos in this channel, and I hope to see you in my next one. Adios!